Hi, Dan. Welcome to Legal Practice Intelligence.
Thank you.
Yes, it's been great to actually get to know you recently and sort of more about the company. I've heard loads about the company in the past. There's a lot of partners we actually work with that you work with as well. But look, do you want to give our audience a bit of an introduction about yourself and the company as well?
Sure, happy to. Thanks for the time today. Yeah, SeeUnity has been around for going on 18 years. I am one of the co-founders and helped start the company many years ago, and really am responsible for the day-to-day operations of the business. We have been recently acquired by Anaqua, which is a leader in the IP management space. And so my new title is General Manager and Vice President of the SeeUnity business unit. So basically running the company as we have in the past, but we now have the backing and oversight of a much larger company that's allowing us to really expand and grow the business and enter into new markets and really extend our reach outside of the US, which we've been historically based, but we're hiring in the UK, and we've got, employees. We've added, probably 10, 15 new employees this year already. So very excited about what we're doing and kind of my new role as general manager for SeeUnity as an Anaqua company.
What's the market you're working with primarily, and what's the value proposition?
Yeah, I'd say in large, our primary market is law firms, and AmLaw, the large global law firms, is what we've historically worked with. Really not by design, but we just sort of gravitated towards that space by the nature of what we do. But at the heart of what SeeUnity does is we really provide out of the box integration with best of breed applications for organizations that historically have a need to integrate with their document management system for compliance and governance, and then really have a need to allow external application sharing or collaboration with external clients, like platforms like HiQ, Teams, SharePoint. So that's kind of at the heart of what we've done over the years, and we've grown quite a bit, and even more so now that we've been brought under the Anaqua family. But we're now getting into legal matter management, integration, finance, HR, and really going into a new market where we can serve corporate accounts that have different needs, but extending the depth of what we're already doing. But at the heart of what we do, it's API and application integration that's productized. So reducing the cost and complexity of organizations that need to integrate with different applications, and then streamlining and automating that workflow. So reducing the time to get information in and out of the system so that employees and outside parties can work more effectively.
I guess more than ever now, with all, the fears around inflation and costs and costs of doing business and things like that. I mean, I guess people have got to closely look at their investments they're making, and I imagine integration is one of the key investments with a decent return.
It is, and then we're seeing a huge driver. I mean, COVID started that in terms of the need and supporting, what sort of validated sort of our approach, but the need to support remote workforces, the need to reduce cost as organizations are moving to the cloud to get out of the data center management business. SeeUnity is really uniquely positioned to provide solutions that sort of bridge that gap, but allow organizations to standardize and work with API-based solutions that support the needs that they need, not only now but in the future, as they extend the need for new innovative ways to work with their clients and customers, but maintaining governance and providing secure cloud hosted environments across a variety of different applications.
So I guess you'd also work with other vendors as well. So for example, if there was a practice management vendor, or if there was a vendor with different offering into the legal market, you'd also provide the integration tools for them to actually integrate and expand their markets.
We do, and that's a good point. Yeah, that's another growing area for us. So, Thomson Reuters, as an example, is one of our key technology partners, and that's a great example of where the technologies are very complementary. So we work together, and they're able to extend the depth of their products by integrating and using our connectors to extend beyond what they support out of the box. And so we've got a handful of those partners, and that's a growing market for us. But the real value there is, bringing technologies together, allowing, our partners to focus on what they do best, and not really need to invest and rely and have teams that are dedicated to maintaining all the various integrations that they need. We're kind of a one-stop shop that allows them to, focus on what they need to do, and then extend the value of their products by, reselling or integrating our products to, extend the depth and the integration needs. And, it's sort of a one-to-many approach where they can build, and we build a connector to their application, and then we're now able to open possibilities and the ability for them to integrate with all the various applications that we already integrate with.
Is it like an integration bus where you can actually plug stuff in and plug stuff out to go into different applications?
At the heart of what we do, yeah, we have an integration layer. An enterprise integration bus is a good, term for it. But basically, our own, integration framework where we build and develop the connectors, and then we build applications on top of those. So our key products today in the market are Velocity and Echo. And so Velocity is sort of a productized migration tool. So if you need to move data in and out of systems, which firms are constantly doing, it provides you a standard way to do that, and then it works across all the connectors that we support today. So firms use that to consolidate systems, move cloud to cloud, onboard a client, or decommission a legacy system and move to a cloud, from an on-premise DMS system to a new cloud environment. So that's Velocity. We resell that, and we have several partners and customers that use that globally. And then we have Echo, which is our synchronization platform. So that really provides the ability to connect and automate the synchronization process of content and data between systems in an automated or user fashion.
I mean, integration is a really risky business. I mean, I guess if you're a consulting firm that wants to actually undertake that and try and write your own integration connectors, I mean, my thoughts would be that you'd actually go and talk to you guys, because it's just such a risky business.
It is. It's kind of a niche that we, it's a blessing and a curse. It's complicated and challenging, which is why there's not a lot of players that do it. But yeah, I think that especially for companies that have a big market, and in a lot of cases, it's required for them today to integrate with different applications. They can't possibly have the expertise and the knowledge to support and maintain the various connectors and systems that they need to integrate with. So that's really our value, and sort of the core competency that we've built up over the years.
And I mean, are you seeing different sort of integration stories around the world? I mean, some people sort of say that what you've got is, for example, the UK market, which you've got some pretty integrated applications, but they want to integrate to other sort of systems. You've got the US, where you've got different sort of silo applications that kind of get brought together. I mean, what's the integration story you're seeing around the world?
Yeah, I mean, I think it varies. One of the common, themes that we see is, certainly for supporting remote environments now with Teams and governance, and being able to use Teams as a collaboration platform. And, that sort of ties together what we've been doing for many years, which is, content and collaboration in OneDrive and SharePoint. And so I think that's a common theme in terms of what we're seeing firms adopt, and really just to support remote workforces. But beyond that, I think it's more important, with a lot of the companies we're seeing now is, being able to adopt and leverage best of breed applications. And so it's not a one size fits all. I mean, they have a DMS system like iManage, they do that well, they own that market. But they need best of breed components. And a lot of times it's forced by their clients and customers that says, hey, this is how we work, and this is what we want to access our content in. So you need to support that and have an integration that ties into the DMS. And so, it varies based on region and, inside, US versus UK. But I think those are kind of the common themes that we see in terms of what firms are looking to integrate with, and really what's driving the adoption of our solutions and the need for integrations. But, a lot of it historically has been tied around governance and tying into, some sort of document management application. But in large, as we get into the corporate space, we're looking at legal matter management, time and billing. And so we've recently added integrations with Simple Legal for legal matter management, Aderant for financial 3E for financial data, working on HR applications like the Workday, adding in, legal tracker. So, we're getting into a whole new world where it's not just about content and documents, which has sort of been core to what we've done. Now we're getting into, moving just sheer data. And, again, the theme is optimizing the workflow, getting in, allowing, your employees or your partners or your customers to work in the applications that they're used to working in, but being able to get them the information, in real time.
I guess from point of view of the investments that CIOs and CIOs are making, what kind of, I guess, business case or returns would you sort of see that firms that implement this or corporate legal departments implementing, I guess, your software? What kind of differences does it make?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of it's just productivity and reducing the cost of having man hours, of having IT folks spend time trying to build or facilitate these integrations. And so we had a recent project we did where the firm had estimated 3 man months of basically 3 dedicated people for 3 months to basically get content out of a system that was through an M&A. And so the firm needed to get that specific data out of that. And we took that 3 months of 3 dedicated people, and we reduced that to about 2 weeks. And so
wow,
that's a real cost savings where where we're going is, sort of building out these, package solutions where we can, with very minimal effort, we can, streamline that and have a repeatable approach for getting data in and out of systems where, firms or customers would take them, quite a bit to build a custom application, that was sort of a one-time use, but it's heavy in terms of the IT resources to do that. So that's a perfect example where I think there's a real benefit to having productized integration solutions and ultimately reducing the IT burden and cost. And then again, I think one of the other key drivers is I think innovation and firms really trying to maintain and provide better services to their clients. And so with that, integration is key to be able to offer services and integration and real-time access to content, where historically that's done through email and very manual process. So being able to streamline some of those processes and really offer that as an advantage for the firm when they're bringing on or working with clients.
I mean, it certainly seems like, from point of view of productivity wise, and I mean, people will be spending money more carefully than ever before. And I mean, going out there and buying new systems, brand new systems versus getting what you've got right now in place might be the changing theme for firms.
It is. And I think that if you can leverage and extend what you already have and potentially tie into existing systems, without having to do a rip and replace, I mean, there's certainly a lot of value there as well. And we do see that as, one of the key drivers as well for some of our solutions, definitely.
And I mean, how would you work with partners? I mean, I guess there's different sorts of partners that you might work with, and I guess what kind of partners are you open to working with?
Yeah, I mean, we're that's kind of core to what we, and we've kind of stayed true to that. So we kind of have, I would say 2 types of partners: the technology partners that I mentioned. So those would be, traditionally, other software vendors, typically larger software vendors, like iManage or Thomson Reuters, where we work together, and then they would resell our solutions and our connectors into their customer base. And then we also support a very large reseller community. And so that is historically been, firms that provide services around various products. So us being one where they need to, and I think the value there is, extending beyond as they get into, as firms move to the cloud, particularly in the document management space. I mean, that market is changing, where they have historically been, on board with customers to support upgrades and integrations and things like that. And that whole market is changing now that the vendors are providing the applications as a hosted service or managed service. And so with our tools, it gives them the ability to kind of add new, new solutions, new ways of integrating, and develop, services and revenue around providing, solutions that integrate their, core, which is kind of core to what they've done, the DMS expertise with cloud-based systems. And so I think there's a huge value there. And so we have a very, lightweight sales team, and it's really meant, we don't do a lot of direct sales. We typically work through partners, and,
Okay.
and then we have, a team, we're expanding into Europe as well now, but team that's designed to support these types of partners and help them sort of augment their sales teams and help, drive new revenue through the channels that we support.
I mean, I guess one of the things is that a law firm pitching for business would actually, I mean, I guess the expectation is from corporate counsel that there'll be sort of integrated system between those two parties, and
Yeah.
I guess effectively what you do is you give these guys opportunities to actually, I guess, expand
Sure.
or actually enhance their ability to win that business.
Absolutely. Yeah. And the quicker you can, onboard the data and show them the different tools that they can integrate with to have access in real time to collaborate on, the various aspects of the data, the information they're working with. I mean, that's a huge value that I think for what we've seen with some of our customers has been a huge value add for them, and, a key differentiator for their customers as well.
Brilliant. So Dan, if people want to find out more about your solution, what's the best way for them to do that?
Yeah, so I think obviously our website, which is www.seeunity.com, and then that's probably the starting point. And then we have teams in Europe now, primarily UK, sales team that we're building out there. So we've got contacts there you can find on the website or through LinkedIn. And then obviously you can contact me directly at any point. I'm still very much actively involved and a sales guy at heart. So, but yeah, you can find my contact on information on our website as well.
Excellent. Look, Dan, thank you so much for your time today, and we'll put all the information links into the into the video as well. So appreciate your time. Thanks, Dan.
Cheers. Thank you.